This is the History of New Zealand podcast on the Eat to My Own Beat podcast network. This is the History of New Zealand, episode 4, Maori Response. The effect of contact on the Maori varied. In some inland areas, life went on as more or less unchanged, although a European metal tool such as a fishhook or hand axe might be acquired through trade with other tribes. At the other end of the scale, tribes that frequently encountered Europeans, such as the Ngākui in Northland, underwent major changes. Pre-European Maori had no distance weapons except for taus, which are spears, and the introduction of the musket had an enormous effect on the Maori warfare. Tribes with muskets would attack tribes without them, killing them, enslaving them, and enslaving many. As a result, guns became very valuable tools, and the Maori would trade huge quantities of goods for a single musket. From 1805 to 1843, the musket wars raged until a new balance of power was achieved after most tribes had acquired muskets. In 1835, the Maori and the Chatham Islands were attacked, enslaved, and nearly exterminated by mainland Ngāti Mutunga and Ngāti Tama Maori. In the 1901 census, only 35 Maori were recorded. Tommy Solomon, the last full-blooded Maori, died in 1933. Around this time, many Maori converted to Christianity. In 1845, 64,000 Maori were attending church services, over half of them estimated population of 110,000. By then, there were probably a higher proportion of Maori attending church in New Zealand than British people in the United Kingdom, and their moral practices and spiritual lives were transformed. The New Zealand Anglican Church, Tā Hahi Minahar, the missionary church, was and is the largest Maori denomination. Maori made Christianity their own and spread it through the country, often before European missionaries arrived. This has been episode 4 of the History of New Zealand podcast. If you like this podcast, please feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening to the History of New Zealand podcast. We're found on YouTube and anywhere else you could find your normal podcasts. Please like, comment, and subscribe, or find us at www.eattomyownbeat.com.